You don't have a family. Welcome back, but if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. As with most of the world, we have been in and out of lockdown for a full year now. Our company has made some massive changes and we're all working from home, some of us more successfully than others. I'm on a very small team of people, 5 of us, in a very high-stress, fast-paced, demanding job, looking after 10,000 employees across North America in an IT-related field. Our higher leadership folks are now looking into options of downsizing our existing office space, since no one has been in the office in the past year. The company pays per square foot, so reducing the office space is a good financial decision, but they still would like a physical presence in the office once things go back to whatever normal is going to look like from now on. We've had several team calls to discuss our options, and on one of our last calls, one of my team members declared, Pookie should be the one to be permanently stationed in the office. She doesn't have any family, so she doesn't have to worry if she gets sick. Guys, I saw red. I'm usually not a confrontational person, but I'll admit that I lost my crap on her in front of the entire team, including leadership. I told her that I do indeed have a family. I have a husband, a dog, parents, siblings, grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousin, and a dozen nieces and nephews. If I were to get sick and die, are you saying that no one will care about that? Your silence on her end, and crickets from everyone else listening on the call. They were probably grabbing popcorn. I figured that while I had everyone's attention, I might as well bring up the productivity of our team. I brought up the fact that I've been doing half of her work for the past year, covering for her and making sure that she didn't fall behind. I've been doing all of her behind the scenes work like electronic filing, updating spreadsheets, tracking, and invoicing, since this affects the entire team if not done. I also made it a point to remind her that without fail, every single time I call her to discuss something, she either doesn't answer her phone because she's away from her desk dealing with her toddlers, or there is a screaming child in her lap and we can't have a normal conversation. I wondered out loud if she had the same sort of service with our clients and customers, and how does that look on her and our company and our customer service? I also mentioned that for those Childfree people who are working from home, we are much more productive than ever before. We don't have children bothering us at home. We don't have to stop what we're doing to make sure a rowdy child isn't getting in trouble. We don't have to stop and make snacks, clean up messes, change diapers, put on Frozen for the 15th time. We also don't have people in the office dropping by our desk to have a chat. We don't waste time at the coffee machine catching up on office gossip. We aren't late and we don't leave early because of a child having a meltdown. My rant was glorious. I felt so good getting all of that off my chest. After the call, my direct boss called me to chat. She had no idea that I was covering for my coworker for the past year. She asked me to document everything that I had been doing to keep her from falling behind and asked me to stop doing these things so she could have a better idea of the impact of her distractions while working from home. I guess my rant had a massive impact on how our leadership saw how things were being done, or not done, on our team. Guess who has been assigned to go back into the office when it opens? Not me. Slacker Mom has been assigned to go in. I can't wait for her to log in this morning and see that email. I've been working for over an hour now and still no sign of her. Point proven. Edit to add a few things. I just got a private message from her. She must have read the email. I hope you're happy now. I don't plan on responding. I'm not sure why she singled me out in the first place, since I'm not the only Childfree person on our team. The only other person with kids is our boss. Oh, I know that anger. My coworkers expected me to have to go back into the office full time before them because I'm single and live alone, so I don't have to worry about getting anyone else sick. Okay, but who's gonna take care of me when I get sick? I love my dog, but she's not exactly able to go to the store for me or take me to the doctor or emergency room if needed. I'm so glad you stood up for yourself and made such good points in your argument. I'm happy your boss took your side too. My husband got similar treatment because his idiot coworker procreated. Only matters if IT tech with 2 kids and a wife with, gasp, mild asthma gets sick. My sister-in-law had mild asthma as a kid, has an inhaler and never uses it, but she milked the F out of it to make sure he got to work from home while her brother was forced to go to work. Apparently, we're completely expendable. Husband was told he'd only be called for emergencies. Turns out if senior management whines enough, that low printer ink is an emergency. No big deal if the IT guy with no kids gets sick or brings home a deadly virus to his organ transplant recipient wife. We don't matter because we don't have kids. Oh, hell effing no. Do they not understand that you were literally given a second chance at life and that your husband's health is just as important as your health because of the impact it could have on you and the absolute sacrifice someone made so that you could live. Sorry, but my husband's a kidney transplant recipient, so I get it from the spouse's POV, and nothing pisses me off more than people not understanding the gravity of the situation. I'll totally give y'all an update. It's funny that a lot of commenters are mentioning the bullying, and this hits so close to home. I used to be really good friends with her until about 4 years ago. Why aren't we friends anymore? Because she's a bully. It took me a few years to see it through, and after one too many incidents where I caught her lying and bullying 2 of our other friends and completely ruining a weekend that we had planned as a group, I told myself that enough was enough. I saw her true colors, and if things didn't go her way, she sabotaged everything so that no one else could have fun either. I cut her out of my friend circle after that. I stopped inviting her to parties, barbecues, wine nights, camping trips, everything. I never did tell her why, and eventually all of our friends did the same thing because they all saw that life was so much better without her being bossy and controlling. Swift justice, Sophie. Something I never got was how it was assumed that people don't have a family after becoming a working adult without many humans. Like, you do realize that people still have parents or aunts, uncles, cousins, siblings, nibblings, and the like. Even then, some folk have self-made families that run thicker than blood sometimes. I think I would like to ask, so when your mini-human is my age and assuming you're still kicking, will you stop caring if they get sick like you assume my family would? I think this is a very Western, Eurocentric concept too. I'm from India but grew up in the US and have noticed how family is really just defined as spouse and children here. And even then, spouse seems to be semi out of the picture, on some strange basis that he or she is an adult and therefore doesn't require any care. In India, family is defined much more broadly. Aunts and uncles and grandparents count as close ties. Employers understand giving leave or flexibility to employees who take care of elderly relatives. And the employers are doing it themselves for their own elderly relatives too. I think one of the worst things about America is this hyper focus on the nuclear family. It makes for crap policy and creates an awful culture where all other ties, including or especially non-related family, like close friends, are underplayed by people and systems in power, to the detriment of everyone. Hyper-focus on the nuclear family is a massive issue in the West. People who say that children make a family neglect the other family models, de facto, double income, no kids, multi-generational, same-sex, blended, adoptive or foster, etc. While I believe that the nuclear family is highly American, attached to the American dream imagery, countries like Australia tend to adopt American ideas, so it festers here too. In Australia, it is illegal to discriminate against someone for marital or relationship status, and that can extend to family structure, especially when related to discrimination in the workplace. But Australia is one of the laziest countries in terms of civil rights movements, so take that with a grain of salt. If it means filing out paperwork, we just won't bother. That comment makes me see red too. It's one of the things that really gets me, so I can totally understand how you felt. At one point in my life, I was looking after my terminally ill parent, had 3 part-time jobs, dogs to walk, a horse to care for, a complicated legal battle, an elderly neighbor to shop for and check on, plus managing and cleaning 2 houses. I was literally shattered and working 7 days a week. But no, I couldn't be tired or have anything important to do as I didn't have children. Well done, OP. I'm proud of you and I'm glad your boss saw what was going on.